Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, something a bit different today to play with, isn't it? How's everybody keeping anyway? Got a fair few in. I think I've lost a few off the top, but I'm sure Derek was in first. Derek Taffman. And there was another Derek there as well with Derek. This is actually Derek's radio that we're going to be butchering. I mean, fixing today. So Derek's in. I think Michael Hyde's there. Daniel is going to pop in later because he's got meetings. Oh, lovely. Andy Tobin. Hi, Andy. Nick Petronics. About 30 years old. I can't remember. I'm sure Derek said it was the first radio he ever got. Yeah, 32 years old, Derek says in his little note to me. Afternoon, Theo. Front row seat. David Tagg. Hi, David. You did get knocked off the top, Derek. Apologies. Nick's been licensed for 40 years. Christ, you're only 37, Nick. How did you manage that? Dear, I was licensed in the late 90s, I think, early 2000s. I think. I'm not 100% sure now. Afternoon, Doug. Les, how you doing, mate? Come to help me, Les. Benji's there. Hi, Benji. I think I did say hello, Doug, didn't I? Yeah. Afternoon, Barry. Afternoon, Dom. Dave Rhodes. Hi, Dave. Seem to remember the 2-meter band being quite popular in the 80s, but it's less so now. I think it depends where you are, Dave. I mean, we have a net every day on 2 meters. Simon's World. How you doing, Simon? Catch you later. 2E0 SFC, Russ. Afternoon to you, Russ. And Mac Vision 3D. Afternoon to you. So yeah. You wish. 59. You were licensed at 19, Nick, were you? Flippin' heck. I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't know what age I was when I was first licensed, but I don't know. Time flies by, doesn't it? I'm thinking 90s, but that's a fair way away. A fair long time ago now, isn't it? So I think there's quite a few people on here today that are licensed, which is all good. At the end of the day, we're fixing something, aren't we? So it doesn't matter whether you're licensed or not. And there's nothing to stop you getting one of these sets and listening on it. End of the day. Derek's saying you got a net on Friday evening on 144.575. That's SSB, isn't it, Derek? Afternoon, Mike. Yeah, we have an SSB net. I think it's Tuesday nights we have an SSB net on 2 meters. And then we got FM 5 days in the week, 2 days on the repeater, 3 days simplex. Les did his RAE in 1976. I was about 20 years after you then, Les. Doug's been 46 years licensed. God, some old timers here, look. Dear, oh dear. I did mention about this radio on the net earlier today. We have a net every day, as I say, between 11 and 12 down here. Let's get rid of some of that cassettage off the bench. Yeah, we have a net every day between 11 and 12. I did mention that I had this radio in for repair, and Les did say that he's... Oh, it's Wednesday night. Oh, it's tonight, the SSB net, Les, is it? Okay. Yeah, I did mention to Les earlier that I had one of these in, and he did say that he repaired one about 25 years ago. But unfortunately, you can't get the bits anymore for these, Les, sadly. I've searched high and low. There is a part. I mean, we'll get into what's wrong with it in a minute, and we'll test it because I haven't even plugged it in yet. But yeah, there is a part apparently from a Galaxy CB radio that you can sort of wangle to fit in, and you've got to alter a few bits and pieces. It's not right though. It's not the right values on the pot, so I'm not sure how they get away with that. But I'm hoping that we're going to be able to fix this. Afternoon, Michael. You wouldn't mind looking at an RAE exam just to see if I could pass. Dom, you'd be good. If I had an RAE now, I wouldn't pass. I can guarantee you that. It was hell of a bloody difficult. I did find it really difficult, to be fair. I went and did a year's evening classes down in Plymouth University to study for mine, and I got through it. But yeah, I passed first time, but it was all due to the lecturer down at Plymouth University. I can't remember his name now. Michael Stevens, Michael G7 GTN. G7, so you might know the I think he might have been called Bob actually, Michael, down at Plymouth Uni that did the RAE classes. I can't remember now. Afternoon, Rob Cross, how are you? Jill did hers in 94. She's probably a little bit before me as well, Derek. I'm sure I was end of the 90s, early 2000s that I did mine. 30 years for you, Mac Vision as well. EI7IV, Irish station, very good. You're thinking of doing the full license now. I think you're on a roll, Dom. I think you're on a roll, mate. If you're still locked down, I think you said you're still locked down, so you've got time to do a bit of studying there. I think have you got the book, Dom? I say I've got some of the old RAE books here that I had back when I was doing it. Some of the revision questions, all that sort of stuff, but it's totally different from the last book that I've seen. Your Bush VTR-178's arrived, Mike. Unpack and see if it survived. Yeah, it's one of those radios. It's a heavy radio, actually, Mike. It's surprising. It's a lot of metal in those. They are fairly robust, so it should be good. You're going to start to do a few courses. What in, Rob? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Dom, would be well worth it. How are you getting on with your 2E0 call anyway? Have you had many contacts on that? I did have a listen out when you were on, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? The bands aren't great at the moment though. I listened on 40 meters, no 20 meters, and there were some Greek stations on. I think they've got a special event thing going at the moment. Greece, 21 years of something, I think. I did write down a call sign here somewhere while I was listening in, but yeah. SZ2ITC. No, SZ21TC. So this is 21 centenary of something. This is a problem. They don't really stop about to say what the event station's all about. It's just a calling in, getting the numbers, and away again. Kenwood were always bad for service and parts in the US, even on new radios. All right, Rob, no worries. So you've had 2 on HF, 1 on 2 meters SSB, and 1 on 4 meters FM. Well, that's good to get 4 meters. I don't think I've ever worked 4 meters, Dom. Never worked 4 meters. Always fancy one of those ICOM 7100. It's a sort of shack in a box that did 4 meters, but I went for the 756 in the end, so I can't work 4 meters on that. So I was going to get a transfer. I was going to build a transverter actually from Spectrum Communications, and I might do. How you doing, Andy? Yeah, I was thinking of building a 4 meter transverter to use. Afternoon, David Roberts. Anyway, we need to hook this radio up. Now, I did look at this just now, and I think I looked at the power consumption on this, and it's 6 amps on max, and my power supply up there is only 5, but I can turn it on to low, which is only 5 watts, but we don't need to transmit anyway, really, because the fault is on receive, really. So let's pop you over to the main camera. I'll come round this way. Hello, Marvin, how are you? Good to have you on board, mate. So let's just alter the cameras about a little bit. Let's get rid of that, that there. Let's get rid of picture in picture. So this is the radio. I don't do a lot of amateur radio stuff, but it sort of comes in drips and drabs, really. I don't mind having a dabble with it if it's something I can do. But when Derek first asked me if I could have a look at this for him, I downloaded the service manual and said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's way out of my league as far as electronics repairs goes. I mean, the service manual for this is absolutely immense. It's massive. You know, you can see this radio's been well used. So Derek's obviously given this some jip over the years. Could do with a new knob, Derek, couldn't it? If anyone's got a spare knob for one of these, look, I'm sure Derek would appreciate that. This one looks like it's been glued back together a few times. It's still working. But if we've got to pull it off, there could be issues. So say it's a 2 meter all mode transceiver. It says all mode, but it's FM and SSB. I don't think there's AM on it. No, it's upper sideband, lower sideband, CW and FM. There's no AM on it, which seems unusual, doesn't it? If it's got SSB, that you would have thought they'd have put AM on it as well, but I don't know the ins and outs of these things. And there's different versions of this. I've got the manual that Derek very kindly put in with it. This is the instruction manual. It's not the service manual, but in the back we have schematics, which is absolutely brilliant, because when I looked at the online schematics, some of the writing was a little bit difficult to look at. So we've got all the schematics and the block diagrams in the actual owner's manual. You don't get that these days, do you? So anyway, looking at the spec on this, it's 144 to 146 megs. As I say, FM and SSB, 25 watts on high power, 5 watts on low, but it's adjustable on low power, apparently up to 25 watts. And the current consumption on it on transmit is 6 amps and 800 milliamps on receive. So I mean, I've got a 5 amp supply. If we've got it in low power, then I can key up on it if necessary. But all we want to do really is have a look at the issue, which is to do with the volume, squelch and on and off, which is all on the same pot on this. They give a lot of problems, Les, do they? Get a cheap Anytone. Yeah, I know it's FM. The problem is around here, Dom, a lot of it's SSB on 4 meters. This is why I was looking for a transverter rather than the FM rig. A proper S meter, yeah. A nice white background on it as well, Doug. You not seen one of these, Doug? Let's get even a little bit closer. You had it from new, Derek. We'll say if anyone else got a knob for it, let's get you in a bit closer. There you go. You can really see some S meter action then. So this is just a little letter I got from Derek, just explaining what the issue is. And the issue is that the volume control is non-working. And what I think it is, let me just grab one a minute. I haven't got one for this, but I can show you roughly what they're like. So it's got these type of pots inside it. And this looks like the right one because it sort of pops in and out, but this would probably fit it, but for the fact it's a dual pot. So you've got some volume on it, you've got squelch on it, and you've got the on-off switch. Now this is just a single pot. You know, this is just a single This would be either volume or squelch. I can't remember what the value of this is now. It could be 50k, I don't know. But this is just a single pot. So I have seen this one on eBay at the moment where someone's pulled both of these out and just put a single pot back in. Obviously, they've either fixed the squelch fully open, which would do your head in, wouldn't it, on FM? If you had to squelch fully open all the time, that would do my head in. Or they've set it to a certain figure by using a resistor, perhaps. So that is a possibility. We could look at doing that, but the problem is you'd end up with just a one knob on the front. It wouldn't look right. So the idea is to try and pull it apart and rebuild it. And if you saw the videos that I put out on the Sony Airband radio, which is over here, if you saw the videos that I did on one of these, Sony, this is an Air 7, they've got exactly the same issue. They've got a pop-up pots that all the insides fall apart on them, and they're allegedly irreparable, but you can repair them. There is some information online as well. I haven't got the links to that offhand. Anyway, without further ado, let's try and hook the thing up and see what it's doing. I have got an antenna here that we can plug into it. I've got my VHF UHF antenna, which is spot on for 2 meters, so we'll plug that in the back. Hey, Bilbo, are you? You need to start selling some stuff. We all need to sell some stuff, Dom. Right. Let's prop it up there for a minute. So power lead. So say, unless this thing suddenly jumps into transmit, then we should be okay on my power supply. Even though it won't do any harm, but by trying it. So let's not short it out if we can help it. Right, microphone. I don't know if we need the mic plugged in for audio, but we'll plug it in anyway, just in case. Let's get that out of the way for a minute. We're going to need that later. Okay. Right. Okay, it's already on anyway by the looks of it. That's the squelches around the outside. So it's not, squelch isn't breaking at all. We're not opening. So what are we on? 145 on FM. 145, so 450 is a cooling channel. So how do we know whether we're on high or low power? Let's have a look. Where's our power on it? Low. Let's just key up. Okay, so it's drawing 2.5 amps, but it is keying up. So I don't know at what sort of power the low power setting is at. So it's keying up. Trying to think what the maximum power of this one is now. How much can I stick into that? Was it 50 watts? 50 watts. So we could connect it up to the test set. Let's just do that as well. Let's just turn it off. Just connect it up to the test set a minute. No, I don't want there. Oh, don't need the mic plugged in. Okay. So the S meter's stuck. Now it's on 0, Nick. I think it's you may think it's stuck because it's showing a reading when you can't hear anything. It's probably the background noise in here, I expect. So if I connect it up to the test set, you should put a key up into this. Should also be able to put a tone into it. It's quite good. According to the specs on it, it'll do better than 0.2 for 12 dB synad, so that's pretty sensitive. So it's a good spec on it. So where's our external speaker? There we go. Okay, so let's key in 145,500 and 145,450. Come on, let's key in 145,500 then on the test set. And let's put in 10. Okay, so it's breaking the squelch at 10 microvolts. You can see the meter's gone across. So let's see where the squelch is cutting out. Okay, so the squelch is kicking in just there, look, which is 1.3 microvolts. So I suppose it would be possibly usable on a strong signal. So the volume is all over the shop as well. So let's key it up into the test set, see what it's doing. So it's doing 7.14 watts and it's absolutely bang on frequency. Absolutely spot on. Let's just get you across to that a minute. Let's get across to the test set. Where is it? Up here somewhere. Down a bit, up a bit. So if I key it up, so 145,500,000, and he's just diddling on the last one. So absolutely bang on frequency. It's a little bit high on low power, 7 watts. Let's have a quick look at the, I don't think it'll do the receive though, will it? Because the squelch, yeah, we can't do the receive because of the squelch. But there you are. Anyway, let's get back on down onto the bench. So it's working, it's just the squelch is so the on-off switch is working, the volume is sort of working, but it's the squelch is not opening. Well, it is opening, but not far enough. So it's probably an S4, S5 before it opens. Afternoon, radio, HF and shortwave. How are you doing, Tom? I think it's Tom. Yeah, that's right. There's a TR-751E. You're quite right, Doug. There's a 751A. There's the A and the E, and if you look at the spec inside, the A goes 144 to 148, and the E is 144 to 146. Do your Sweden. Yeah, I think I could leave it bridged out, Derek, but as I say, it would really do your head in. So there we are. That's the verdict. Let's turn the test set off now. Can unplug everything from it because we need to get it apart and have a look at this volume and squelch pot. So at least we proved that it is that's wrong. Well, I'm sure it is, but as I say, I was quite happy to deal with that, but I didn't really want to do any too in-depth electronic repairs on one of these because, as I say, a bit of a nightmare to work on by the looks of it. So can we see it any better in the overhead camera? Probably not. Let's just zoom out a bit then. Let's get this thing apart. I'll get you in on the overhead camera as and when necessary. So one thing is, it does go into detail in the owner's manual on how to take the thing apart as well, which I'm glad you sent this, Derek, because I wouldn't have thought of looking in the owner's manual. So basically, we've got to take the top panel off, the bottom panel off, and then take a couple screws out, loosen a couple more, and that whole front piece just drops down. Now, whether we'll get enough access to do that is another thing, to actually get to it. Let's take that microphone out. Let's pop that one out of the way. So it's going to be touch and go really as to whether we can actually fix this. Theo, a bag of toffees. Thank you, mate. Bag of toffees. I do like the Werther's, is it? Werther's original sugar-free toffees. Anybody wants any toffee tips? That's the one to go for if you're diabetic. Okay, that's the top cover. 4 screws. Off he comes. A bit of corrosion inside, but no SMD capacitors that I can see of so far, which is always good news. And the bottom. It's a very nice nice transceiver, this, Derek. I mean, I've got sort of just 2m77s dual bander, but it doesn't do SSB. I think did you tell me, or did I see that this hasn't got any tones in it for repeater operation? Oh, okay, well, that undone itself, wherever that came from. Oh, there, okay. You can see the speaker, excellent. Yes, there's no tones in this, but I think you can get a unit to put in there, Derek, can't you? Is that an add-on board as well? There's a voice synthesizer board available for it as well. Hi Nigel, how are you? Yeah, there is a voice synthesizer board available for it. Okay, so on the side, it looks like on the side, we've got one screw to take out and one to loosen, and this puts it into the service position so as you can get at the front. So let's turn it the other way up then to do that. It's a lumpy rig. This is not the weight of a CB radio. This, people, this is a serious bit of kit. So let's loosen that one at the same time. Top one out. Okay, so it should slide out and angle down. There we are. Wow. So I can see the pot straight away, and it looks like someone's had a go at this one. Has somebody already tried to fix this, Derek? Has somebody been in here before, Derek, and tried to fix that pot? Because it looks like someone's pulled the rivets out. So you can see the volume and squelch pot is just there. And there should be rivets in the back, but it's bent over bits of metal, so looks like someone's had a go before to fix it. Anyway, this board has got to come out, which means we're going to need to take the front panel off by the looks of it. Don't think we need to unplug everything on the planet, but we are going to need to take the knobs off and probably the main. Yeah, that one's going to have to come off as well, which could be a problem because it looks like it's been glued back on. Don't know. Let's have a go. No, it's okay. So he's actually took the pot apart, Derek. Has he? I didn't realise he'd taken the pot apart. Come on, focus. Yeah, I didn't realise he'd taken the pot apart. That might mean, depending on what he's done inside there, Derek, that I can't actually fix it. So we might have to look at finding some sort of substitute for it, or just fixing it with the squelch at a set level. Okay, so we've got a Right, I'm just going to go and get my sockets a minute for that. Yeah, as I say, I've taken them apart before and fixed them, but hopefully he hasn't done anything in there, and I can fix this. If he's done any nasties in there, Derek, then we could be in trouble. There could be trouble. because I don't think I could do one with the naked eye. Last time I had to use the microscope, so fingers crossed. Size is that? It's 11. $11mm it is. It's the same type of control as the Sony Airband that I did, Doug, if you remember. Remember I had to glue the little tiny metal wiper back onto the plastic holder. Well, I had several attempts to get that done, actually. Right. We're getting there. It's coming apart. So let's turn it back. Well, this is the offending article. The other one's all right, Derek, is it? Because apparently the other one fails as well. Come on, thank you. Right, let's put that radio out the way for a minute. Let's put it somewhere safe. Have a sip of the Corporation Pop. Let's get the thing on the overhead camera and take it apart. Time to get the old frog eyes on. Okay. So I think, I'm trying to think which one's the squelch and which one's the volume. I need to get the service manual up for that. So these are normally something like Alps or something like that, these pots. I don't know whether he's shoehorned another one on the back of it. It's not very straight. Let's get a bit more lighting on it. Right, let's get the desoldering tool fired up and we'll get it desoldered from the board. You think which one was fine, Derek? Oh, the other one, sorry, yeah, the RF gain and... Is it RF gain and... I can't remember what the other one is. RF gain and RIT. Yeah, so you got two pots on it. We're looking at this one, volume and squelch. That one will go, Derek, at some stage. Just to let you know, just to cheer you up a bit. But yeah. I think they look worse than they are, Dom. It's just the fact that the flux is still on the board. But as I say, it's been taken apart, but I don't know how he's managed to bend those back on. But say the squelch seems to be the issue. Let me just have a quick look at the service manual while the desoldering tool's heating up. So you can have a look at the service manual with me if you want. Because on here is pictures of the boards. Cracking service manual this is. I noticed someone's selling the service manual on eBay at the moment. They want 39 quid for it, but I think if you're repairing these, it's well worth it. I think that's just my computer running slow at the moment. Come on, Mr. Volume Pot, where are you? I think with the schematics after that, I might have jumped past it. That's modifications by the looks of it. We've got any more boards? Was that it? The thing is, this manual covers both radios, the 751 and the 77 one as well. It's the 851. A lot of the components are the same, but obviously the main boards are different. No, this is on a go slow. It's on a go slow. No, forget that. Because I'm live streaming, the computer's really running slow. Hey, how you doing, Harvey? Slight lean. Yeah, I mean that pot's not flush, soldered back, but just that the flux hasn't been taken off. That's all. Right, let's get the pot out and have a look. Doesn't look like he's desoldered the back piece at all. Oh, steady. Right, we're not there yet. I think I'm going to have to add some fresh solder in that to get them out. Yeah, so we've got, looks like 4 of them are pretty much desoldered. That one's out. That one's out. Yeah, squelch pot's loose. Just gonna have to add some fresh solder in there and suck that out. Let's put a bit of flux in there. I must get another soldering iron tip. One of my soldering iron tips is packed up as well. The main one that I use all the time. It's a real pain. I've got other soldering irons here that I can use, but oh, yeah, this one is my main tip, which is a flat chisel tip, and it's one of these cartridge type soldering iron tips, and it's just failed. It failed a couple of days ago. Let's zoom back out. You don't be that close, do you? Cyber, how you doing? Squelch and volume. The pot is too damp. Where do you get the magnifying headset that looks like something I could do with? I think it was CPC or Farnell. It's an OptiVisor. So if you Google OptiVisor, they come. You can get different lenses in them, Russ, but they ain't cheap. I think Mike Atlantis did find an equivalent on Amazon a bit cheaper. I don't think it was OptiVisor, but it was something similar. Right. It's me yabbering away. I haven't put the soldering iron on. So let's just add a bit of fresh solder in. Which ones aren't desoldering? That one is, that one. That one hasn't. I suspect is that center one, which is the wiper, is not It is a double-sided board. There is tracks coming off the other side of it in 2 places. Yeah, these have got glass lenses, Russ. There is a difference. Glass lenses won't scratch. They look clear now. Which one? Well, that looks like it should come apart now. Let's pop that off. Just that one there holding by the looks of it. Just that one. Always one, isn't there? There we go. One board. one pot. Now this is the interesting bit. This is where thousands of pieces drop out of these things. So we need a sheet of white paper ideally. Let's get, this might blow the camera out, hopefully not. Let's get a sheet of A3 paper. It's all gone white, all right, it's all white now. So you can see that something like this could possibly be sort of shoehorned in as a replacement, but it's not right. In fact, I don't know what. I don't think there's a switch in this one. I'm not sure what pot this is. Let's have a look. I think it's a 50 KB pot, which would be right for the volume probably. I don't know why it's got a secondary on it. I don't think it's a switch on that. I think it's just a hidey away. Right. Scary stuff now. Let's get this one apart and have a look. Alright, let's get the little jeweler's pliers a minute, see if I can get a pot with that. This is a different construction to the ones in the Sony for sure. This is where it flies into 1,000 pieces. You can't really see what I'm up to there, can you? Make sure you're in the right spot, Graham. X marks the spot, look. I need to be there. Bruton, yeah, I could do with a cuppa actually. I got me water here, but it's not the same, is it? Right, what's going to fly out here then? Okay, I see. So this back part then is the switch. This is just the switch, this back part. Then we've got, I think, squelch and then volume at the front. So the back part is just the push switch. Yeah, so that's just a push on off switch inside there. Make sure we don't lose any of those parts. Let's put that over there. So this is the problem child. Inside here something has gone wrong. As I say, the volume doesn't look too bad, but the squelch is obviously not good. Right, let's get these pins out then. Scary stuff. Drum roll. One. Don't know whether he's actually managed to make some longer pins, but let me just straighten this one out because it's not gonna come out very nicely else. It certainly looks like he's had a good go at it, Derek, anyway. He's obviously spent some time, mate, taking it apart for you and trying to fix it. So, hats off to the guy that had a go at it. Let's see what's been done inside here. It's going to be the interesting part. No, will that push in or not? No, so I've got to take this dinky little circlip off the end. And on the last one of these that I did, I actually pinged that circlip across the room and ended up having to buy some more circlips because I couldn't find it anywhere. So please don't ping. Please don't ping. Just come off nice. There you are. Okay. It's like an unexploded bomb, isn't it? Okay. We're getting there. Right, okay, it's the same. It is the same. So, if you look at this little tiny white bit in the middle, this is exactly the same as the Sony ones. Oh, that'll do. Sort of. Okay. Let's just make that a little bit brighter. It's going to be a little bit pixelated because I'm zoomed in so far, but where's my tweezers? It's tweezer time. So this one looks okay. I think. Is it or isn't it? So this one I think is the volume pot. So I need another pair of tweezers. So what happens is this piece, yeah, it has gone. Look, can you see that? Oh, Christ, don't you lose that, Graham. Oh. Right, let's try this a different way. Let's hold it like that. You can't ping away then. Bear with me, I'll get it back in shot in a second once I can get hold of it. Yeah, okay. So if you, I don't know if you can see, but the piece here, this bit is broken away from the plastic, and I think, mate, you might have put like a little pin in it. But what happens, if you can see that at an angle, if I can get it right at an angle, yeah, it's difficult because the camera's not great at that resolution. Let's zoom back out a little bit. So basically this bit's fallen off, and I think no, that's just a bit of plastic that's hanging off there. So the problem is this this white carrier, this piece is broken away. If I just lift that off, look, that is broken away from this piece. So what we've got to try and do is reattach that permanently, which last time I did it two ways. I used the soldering iron to put heat on this and melt it into the plastic, and then over the top I put some epoxy. So I think we'll do this one first, and then see if we can get it fixed. Let me think. Did I super glue it? I think I put epoxy on it last time. I have got this JB Weld now though, so that might be even better. Yeah, it's scary stuff, Dominic. It's absolutely tiny. I mean, if I put my finger beside it, look. That's how big it is, and this is a little tiny screwdriver. Yes, if I put the top of my pen up against it, you can see how small it actually is. It is tiny. It is tiny. Right, so let's get myself sorted here. If we go with the JB Weld, that should really stick it solid as a rock. The hard part of this is, and I did it under the microscope last time. In fact, I probably will do it under the microscope this time. So I'm going to use some JB Weld to glue it on. But as I say, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to sort of plastic weld it in place. And I'm going to need to get the microscope out for that. So you'll have to bear with me a minute. Apologies for blowing the light out, but unfortunately this camera doesn't like whites. It's all white, but it don't like white. Strong glug. Strong glug. Microplastic welding rods. That is the squelch. The volume's at the rear. Okay. Well, this is the front one, so the volume is the rear one. The volume one looked okay, but we'll check that one as well because that one's bound to be hanging off. The squelch was the issue. So I think the good news is we should be able to fix it, Derek. Or I should be able to, not we. Unless anyone else fancies to go as well. I need to find my other tweezers. We need a couple pairs of tweezers for this job. I don't know if I can zoom in any closer on that, whether it'll still blow it out. Well, that's a bit better. Yes. Hot transparent on a fly. It is tiny. It is tiny. So I need to get the microscope out. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm losing track of what I'm actually trying to do here. So we've got the glue we need. Let's get that out of the way. Should have tidied this up, shouldn't I? But I've been out with the dogs for a walk, so that's why I went on a little bit late. Ah, that's my other tweezers. There we go. Right, so we've got a full complement of tweezers in the house now, ready to go. We've also got a couple things that Simon has sent me in here, which we'll maybe have a look at on Sunday. But Simon sent me a couple FM transmitters there, which we need to have a look at. I believe that's Simon from Simon's World. I don't know. There's a lot of Simons about. We got Spanky Simon. We got Simon Spires. We got Simon from Simon's World, and I think it's Simon Trout as well. Oh. Right. So I've got to get the microscope out. So unfortunately, this bit of it you probably ain't going to see a lot of. But I wouldn't say you can't do this without a microscope, but it's a damn sight easier. So let me get myself set up a minute and then I'll see if I can get you in with the overhead camera somehow. Stay, don't you go anywhere. Right, so we're looking here. Okay. I'll sort myself out a minute. This is a bit of a pain because you can't really see what I'm doing here. If I can get the overhead camera sorted out, you'll be able to see a bit better with that. Otherwise I've got to mess with the settings. Let's have a look with the overhead camera. Right. Where is it? There. Oh, there's a bit of it. Okay. So you can't actually see where that is because that's blown it right out. Okay, you can just about see it. There you go. So it's such brighter light with the LEDs from the microscope, it is sort of blowing it out a bit. Let's go a little bit darker. Will it go darker? Okay. That's as good as it gets, people. That's as good as it gets. Right, there we go. Surgeon. Yes. Gloves. Right. So let's have a look. The problem is this thing's a bit lopsided. I put pressure on that side. Okay, that's perfectly aligned there at the moment. So what we want to do is turn the soldering iron down. Turn it down to about 250. Oh, it doesn't like 250. 260. Let's go 270 then. So what I'm going to try and do is touch the soldering iron onto the base there, just enough to melt it into the plastic. If I can get it to melt through and squidge up through, then I'll have a pretty good joint there straight away. So let me move a few other things out of the way. So I don't want to be knocking this. How are you going to do this thing, Graham? So I need to be in really at a different angle than that. I need to come round, spin it around, back, come back. Okay, about there. Ah, you swine. Trouble is I can't very easily get hold of it. There we go. I can touch that down there. Wait. He will not stay still. Okay, that's got it grabbed quite nicely there. Let's try again. Okay, I can see the plastic squidging a bit. Right, let's let that cool down a sec. Let's leave that to cool down a second. Tweezers, please. Use blue tack or plasticine to keep it moving. Towel. We'll throw the towel in. Right, let's see if that's solid now. Okay, so really you could leave it at that and that could be job done, but what we want to do is try and put a little bit of epoxy over where I've done that, just to make a strong joint of it. I'm also going to have to just file off very gently, and this could make me have to start all over again now, but actually no, that should be okay. Just where I've melted the plastic, can you see that? No, you probably can't actually. But yeah, it's not the greatest picture, is it? It's very pixelated. I'm sure you get the gist of what I've done anyway. So that's on there. That is on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mix up some of this JB Weld. Obviously don't need a lot of this. Let's get a cocktail stick or two. So I'm just mixing up some of this JB Weld, which is supposed to be the dogs. So again, in with the microscope, grab it, hold. Be careful here. Don't want to get it obviously anywhere near the wipers. That'll do her. So what I need to make sure is I get this the right way round, because this will go either way round. So that was the front I took off, wasn't it, first? So let me just mark that with a bit of silver pen. So mark that with silver, and I'm also going to mark this one with silver. That way. I know I'll get the right way round. One down, one to go. Let's have a look at the volume pot then. Put that one safely out of the way. Oops. How we doing? Hey Graham, how you doing, mate? We're fixing a very tiny volume pot in Derek's amateur radio. Or volume and squelch pot. Right, I'm just going to have a look at this one under the microscope, see if this is broken off. Yes, it has. And this one looks like someone's had a go at sticking it back on. So let me just maneuver it. Okay. Yeah, that one's gone as well. Yeah, that one's gone as well. Okay. Same treatment then. Soldering iron. Steady. There she goes. Just let that cool down. Steady, steady she goes. What's the video saying? What's that Graham saying? The Gogs Elox. Right, our JB Weld should be still usable, hopefully. Yep. One mistake I made with the other one I did was, let's actually use those, was I actually put a little bit of deoxit, thinking I was being clever and clean the wiper while I was at it. I put a bit of deoxit on, and it actually released the glue. I've got my fingers in the way now. That's better. Oh, no, that's all right. Just me slacking with the tweezers. It's a stringy bit there, which is just a bit of plastic that melted off. Good. Right, let's just get a clean cocktail stick. Just tidy that up a little bit. You can sand this stuff afterwards, so if necessary I can sand it off. But hopefully that's that one done as well. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that that one goes with that one, and that one goes with that one. Thanks, Graham. So that's both of them done. So next thing is how long does JB Weld take to go off? How long does JB... I know that camera's blown out now, isn't it? Let's go back to the main camera. So yeah, so that's me two bits done. "24's George, how you doing, mate?" 24 hours. So I bought this stuff this time. It's apparently higher strength formula, 5020 psi. So Derek, if you push really hard on it, it should withstand it. So it sets in 4 to 6 hours. Sets in 4 to 6 hours, cures in 15 to 24 hours. So allow 4 to 6 hours before handling and 15 hours before putting object back in use. So there we are. Tomorrow afternoon I can put it back together, Derek. But I'm pretty confident that that should do the trick. So what I need to do is probably put a bit of double-sided tape on here just to tape all the bits on each thing, and then I'll oh, it's gone out of focus now. Come on. Clean the carbon tracks now and allow to dry. I'm not going to go anywhere near it at the moment. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the carbon tracks on here. I want to be careful because I don't want to knock the silver off of that goes with that one. So I want to make sure I know which one goes with which. But yeah, we can give the carbon tracks a quick going over with IP8. Bob, you're quite right. I don't want to touch the tracks on these two, obviously. In fact, I'll use one of those lint-free wipes for that. You're busy replacing a USB socket in your Kindle Fire. Only just remembered it was Wednesday. How you keeping, George, anyway? Hope you're doing all right, mate. So let's just give these a quick clean. Well, we're at it. So I've got to remember that that is the silver one. I'm finding these foam pads pretty good actually. You don't leave any bits of cotton bud hanging about afterwards, which is always a bonus. So that's a silver one that goes with that one. Let's just do this one as well then. There we go. That goes with that one. Steady. Let's say I've got to do the same operation as that to the Sony there as well. That needs the same process. Let's get rid of the flux on this thing as well. So say if you want to see that again, I have done a video on the Sony TR-7 with exactly the same issue. Seems that all of those pots, that little tiny bit of plastic, the metal breaks away from it. God, I'll tell you, that was a bit crusty, that flux on that. Interestingly enough, Elna made that board, look. You probably can't see it because the picture's a bit blown out, but yeah, Elna made that. A lot of aching. Did have to lift a fridge and a 50-inch TV into the house by yourself yesterday. It's only you that can lift stuff, George. Mike, how you doing, mate? Welcome. Yeah, not for the faint-hearted, that really, Mike, but you can do it. It's doable. I mean, we don't know if it's working yet, but I'm sure it is. So someone's bent one of these pins on the connector as well. So there we are. I've defluxed that. That's ready to go back together. So potentially, we are good to go. Bit of a dicky leg on that one. There's my other pliers. So yeah, shame we can't put it back together straight away, but we do need to leave that to set. It'll then go rock hard and should never come off again, hopefully. But I think the key to that is sort of melting it into the plastic very gently. As I say, I've turned the heat right down on that. So, right, let me get some double-sided tape a minute. Where are we? Because I obviously don't want to leave the bench unusable. Let's zoom out a bit. Unfortunately, as I say, this white surface is blowing the camera out as well, so it's not great. So I'm just going to a bit of double-sided tape. Just so I don't lose these bits. So that's that one and its counterpart. I'm not sticking these down really hard, so if I did that, I'll never get the blimmin' things off again without breaking them. Oh, steady. And this one's got a bit of grease on it. So hang on, we've got to take the stuff off, haven't you? First, Graham. Where's the goats? I should think so too. It ain't gonna stick if you ain't pulled the backing paper off, Graham, is it? You bloody idiot. Right. So they're not interchangeable because they've both got different different fittings. I mean, they must have been difficult to manufacture this. I'm going to stick these down as well. Don't lose them. Our two wonky pins. I'll need to straighten those out. There. So I can get that out of the way now. Let's get the microscope out of the way. Okay, put that little board there, stick that on as well. Then hopefully, especially that little bloody circlip, I won't lose anything. There we go. Job done. So when we're going to put that where it's going to be mega safe? Up there. Whew. Oh, Rob. Okay. So the other thing that came in the other day, can you remember I had a play about with that Denon? Well, I've got another drive unit to pinch a roller from. Pinch a roller. pinch roller. So this one was bought as spares and repairs. It's actually it was cheaper to buy a complete cassette deck for the mechanism than it was to buy 2 pinch rollers from Germany. So I bought a complete cassette deck, and I literally have got a whole cassette deck down here. I've got the whole lot. Exactly the same as the other one. Exactly the same as the other Denon that we fixed a couple Sundays ago. And this one does power up, but there's a problem with the mechanism. There's something wrong with the mech. I've not really investigated that because of the fact that I've repaired the other one. So really, I only want the pinch roller. Let's get the old overhead camera in. No, not that one. We want that one. Yeah, there we go. Just zoom out a little bit. So the problem with the other deck was this pinch roller here. The little spring that you can see just in behind there, if I just go in a bit closer, that spring there was missing because the little peg here had broken off, and the other deck wouldn't work in auto reverse. So I think it was that one. Yeah, it was definitely that one, because I can remember swapping the pinch roller from one side over to here. Now this deck, as I say, it's not brilliant at the moment. I've got to retract the head somehow. The mech is fairly complex. So somehow I've got to retract the head. I'm not sure how to get it off, because otherwise I'm going to have a nice dent in that pinch roller. So I think I've got to power it up to do that, because I can't work out how to I can get it to eject the tape, he says. So in it, I can get it to eject the tape by turning the drawer mechanism. It's not releasing the tape drive. So it'll retract all the way. There's no problem with it apart from a slack belt. That noise you can hear is just the little plastic feet underneath. I've got to somehow release this mechanism to pop this assembly here back. Is it there? What I don't want to do is mess the timing up on it. It might be that I've got to actually physically... It might be that I've physically got to put the power back on the thing to get it to reset. I don't know. So obviously this metal plate here, needs to retract back that way. I'm sure there's a way to do it mechanically, but I can't see it at the moment. There's a weird and wonderful camera mechanism here. So yeah, there's a cam mechanism just in here, which is what, by the looks of it, what controls all of that. But like I say, what I don't want to do is jump a gear with it. I'm sure there's a little arm here somewhere that actuates it. Ah, did that just jump back then? Ah, aha, have I just done it? Yes, I think I have. Okay. Yeah, it's just dropped back off, so that's okay. It's not dropped back fully yet. Just trying to see where it's engaged now. That's this little latch here by the looks of it. Yuck. Oh well. So as I say, I've got to pop this pinch roller out. I've got to pinch the pinch roller. Yeah, they are plastic. I mean, it ain't great, Harvey. I think you're just saying that even cheap decks have metal pinch roller assemblies. This has got plastic. That's what Denon decided was good. And there's a lot of these decks out there. Be careful, I don't want to break that peg off. I did it last time, it's a little screwdriver on it. Let me just get my goggles on so I can see it. I can see in a bit closer. So just got to ease that out. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. There we are. So there we are. That is the bit that I need to get my deck fully working. Let's put that out of the way again. It's got a bit of mould or something on the pinch roller. It feels sort of gritty or powdery. Now there is a lot of people out there that say you shouldn't use isopropyl on pinch rollers. I don't know what anybody's thoughts are on that. Apparently it's a bit too aggressive. A bit too aggressive, apparently. So I think what we might do then, because this is, I think this is 99% IPA. What we'll do is we'll water it down a bit so it's not quite as aggressive. It's now no longer 99%, it's more like 50-60% now. So let's get one of these. Evening, Simon. IPA is fine on pinch rollers. Yeah, I know, Simon, but apparently it doesn't do the rubber any good. So I'm just going to give this a clean. I mean, I'm just going to quickly do this. I'm looking to finish up around about 6 anyway, because we got pizzas tonight. The main event was Derek's radio. Well, hopefully that is done and dusted. Just got to wait for the glue to go off and get it back together. So certainly that cassette deck will yield some very useful spare parts for my deck as it ages. There's all sorts of things in that can go wrong. So what I've done is I've just watered down the IPA, really. That's all I've done. Made it not quite so aggressive. Just means it doesn't evaporate away as quickly. There's a nice and rubbery feeling anyway, so this deck hasn't seen a lot of use, to be fair. Paddy, how you doing, mate? No, it's one of those things. They reckon it dries the rubber out, Nick, and it can crack it over time. The Naki decks have 2 motors, only one for driving the capstan. Yeah. Did you see that? I don't think you were in on Sunday, Harvey, were you? When I did the Nakamichi 581, which isn't working. I think Simon was right by saying about the mute head in it. I've just done that the wrong way around now, haven't I? Not the mute head. Mute head? Mute head. That's a new one. The mute circuit in it. I'm wondering whether it is that kicked in. It's easy enough to tell. It's just a case of it being either high or low on the logic. So I need to get that in. I'll tell you what, this has still got texture on this rubber. This is not seen a lot of use. This is a lot less hours deck than the other one I've got, you know. So it might be that I even swap the two decks and I keep this one and have the other one for spares. I don't know. Because one issue with the other one was there were some broken pieces on the front panel. Well, I was extra careful when I took this one apart, and there's no broken pieces on the front panel for this one. So there we are. That's the pinch roller assembly that I need for my Denon deck. Denon deck, not Anton deck, Denon deck. Shall we pop it in a minute? I think we've got time. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to dry it off a minute first. This is the problem using normal IPA with a bit of extra water, is it's we can hear that whizzing round. Listen to that. That's dry now anyway. Let's grab my deck down a minute and see if we can quickly put this in, or whether it's a pain in the neck because it's all wired up. I might be able to listen to both sides of the recording in one. So there's a little baggie on top, which was the broken pieces off the front panel. So let's get this apart. Now the other deck looks like it's been dropped from a high height as well, because the back of it's been pushed in a bit. Get that out of the way because I'm gonna. I think the previous person that took this deck apart didn't do it very well, because the outer case has got to come off a specific angle and snap back into the things. Say there's no service manual for this, so I really was going flying by the seat of my pants. As is usual. Gary, how you doing, mate? Just clean it with a sandblaster. You're so kind, Gary. So helpful. Clean it with a sandblaster. Incidentally, I mentioned about the system connector, if you remember last time. And all the system connector is just a normal 3.5mm stereo jack plug between them all. Oh, we've still got a cassette in there, Graham. It's okay, it's not in the way. So this is the one with the broken head. Did I take the wrong one off or the right one off? I took the wrong one off. Great, good start. Let's get the other one. Oh well, at least we've got a spare one. So if I go in with the overhead camera, this is the broken one, and you can see there's a spring missing. There should be a spring. If you look at this one, oh, come, get out, get out. There should be a spring, and this little plastic peg that holds a spring in position. So it's no wonder they break, isn't it? I mean, it's just a little tiny bit of plastic holding it together. Right. Let's get this one out. Right, screwdriver, very gently. Got it. Oh, steady. So now, got no pinch rollers. So I now need to clean this head. This head? It's not a head. Cool, scream goat. We need to clean the pinch roller. So, this one's not as dirty as the other one actually, which is a bit strange. It's a shame that these parts aren't available, but without a service manual I can't find the part numbers. Tell you what, they're really good bearing in them. Now I'm going to have to use normal isopropyl. I'll be there all day trying to do it like that, won't I? Actually wasn't far off getting it clean, to be fair, so I'll carry on as I was. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the scary look into Derek's volume pot. Hopefully our JB Weld. I've heard good things about JB Weld, so I've got high hopes for it. Right, that's okay. All right, okay. Oh no, still not clean. Try again. There's a nice bearing inside that. Right, I think that's the right one this time. Slightly different pinch roller, actually. Interesting. Very slightly different pinch roller. The actual bracket's the same, the arm, but the pinch roller is different. So let me just let's just zoom you in a little bit so you can see a bit more what I'm up to here. Not that you can see a lot because the deck's in the way, but if I get the overhead camera, it's probably better. Okay, so I need to just pop that to one side very gently. Come on. Come out, pinch roller. Trouble is with that light off, I can't see now. Ow, just banged my elbow now. Got it. There she goes. Right, and I believe that little lever there, go over the top of that. Okay. Right, so now I need to unplug the thing. So let's zoom you out a bit. Let's pop that on. Power in. Fingers away, Graham. So say I'm a bit backwards to you at the moment, but let's yeah, the belt does need doing on the cassette Mac. Okay, so let's go into play. Okay, are we? It's that way. So let's get our signal tracer a minute. We should be able to hear that coming out, hopefully. Out. Should we, or is that separate earth on that? That's obviously the so that's as it was before. Just trying to see if I can find, so we want the output. So let's try to auto-reverse it. Yes, it works. Woo-hoo-hoo. If you can see that or not. So that's that pinch roller. That's that pinch roller. Yes, it's only working. Excellent. So let's just stop that. Job done. I mean, as I say, that if you look at the pinch rollers, they are different. So close can I get you in here? Let's turn the power off first before I stick my hand in the back of it and get a different hairstyle. So yeah, if you look at the two pinch rollers, they do seem to be different. But actually, looking at it, I think that's because, yeah, I don't think they are different. It's just the fact that when they're that way up, they've got a narrower rim, if you see what I mean. Narrower spindle. If I turn them that way up, I don't know. That certainly looks wider than this one. But this pinch roller here is absolutely knackered as well. I mean, you can see it's absolutely. It looks like someone's took some bites out of it. Look. So that's great news. So that deck is now fully working pretty much. The only thing I would like to do on it at some stage is the azimuth. So I might actually do that while it's on the bench tomorrow. So there we are. I did say to Mrs. Cruncher I'd be finished around about the 6 o'clock mark, and we're just over. So that's not bad, is it? That ain't bad. That ain't three bad. Whew. So there you are. Another Wednesday live stream done. Got a lot done actually. I'm quite pleased that we managed to get Derek's thing fixed. Hopefully, Derek. Yeah, they do want you to buy, not repair. You just had the Oxford vaccine. Oh, good stuff, Jess. I had mine last Wednesday. I'm still here. No symptoms of the virus now. Feeling a lot better now. Good stuff, Jess. I take it you got your smell and your taste back, hopefully, at long last. Just catch up with the rest of the chat. Yeah, Benji's selling an RPC1 hacker on eBay. That was a trial run for the pinch roller. May have been modified. I think the pinch rollers are slightly different. I might end up putting both the same ones on actually. Because I say those other ones have got less mileage on than this one for sure. Which means less woe and flutter, I believe. Dom's selling stuff. Everyone's selling stuff. Cheers, cheers, Rob. No, I'm knocking it on the head now, mate. I'm off to have my tea. Well, to start the tea. That Hacker RP25X, lovely thing, but oh no, no way. Cheers, Derek. Hope you enjoyed that, mate. Watching your poor radio being beaten to death. Bushworks, very good, Mike. Good stuff, mate. It's a good radio. It will benefit from new caps in the amplifier board, mate. But, in fact, I think you'll have to look back at my videos there, Mike. But I'm pretty sure a lot of the capacitors are pretty short in that. Japanese, isn't it? Japanese from the sort of 70s, 80s, I think. There you go. Cheers, Gary. So let's have a quick Quick look at people that have supported us today. So Theo, thank you very much. A bag of toffees for me. And Video Monkey Graham for encouragement. I need the encouragement at the moment. I need the encouragement. That was an interesting fix. As I say, I've never worked on one of those before. It's just exactly the same problem as the Sony and a lot of the other little radios with that little metal bit coming loose off of the plastic backer. That's all it is. What's going to be on the bench on Sunday? Well, I don't know. I think we'll give the Nakamichi deck a miss for a little while. I might bring that back in on a midweek stream just to see if we can find out what the issue is while we have no output on it. So that's all for today, people. Catch you on Sunday. Should be around about the same time. Sunday, 1:30-ish. See how we get on. So as I say, thumbs up if you enjoyed that. If you're not a subscriber, then hit that subscriber button. And once again, thanks to my Patreons. Catch you all soon. Have a good one and stay safe. If I can find my mute button. Bye for now.